All right, you guys, welcome back to Love Frequency Podcast. What we basically talk about here on this particular channel is love after breakup, love after pain. It could be any type of pain, whatever you may label it as. That's basically what Love Frequency is about. It's elevating yourself, elevating your inner body, not letting certain things change you from that beautiful soul that you are into something else. So it's basically living through heartbreak and living through and overcoming like an adversity and love and light and turning that pain into love and healing and sound or whatever that means to you. So when you think of love frequency, you think about an elevation, a vibration, and just continuing to elevate higher. So today I kind of wanted to talk about putting everything together. As far as putting everything together, the first thing I believe I talked about was upgrading and downgrading, and not to continue extending that conversation out, but just to know, like, don't have insecurity about yourself. Like, I know that we all go through things in life, but be happy for the next person and don't assume that because you are no longer with that person or no longer in that relationship, that situation, or even something like a job where that person may, got that promotion and you like, what about me? I worked hard, I've done this. It's all about comparing. Don't compare yourself to someone else and say, I'm better than. No, no one's better than anyone. It's that person's time to shine too. It's their moment, whether that be for that job that they got promoted for over you, that relationship that they're now in versus you, or whatever the situation may be. So that's the first thing. Nothing is ever an upgrade or a downgrade. It's just a right now and a frequency that they're elevating in, and it's their moment. So we have to focus on ourselves to the point where we're elevating, where we're not looking at things in jealousy or lack of. We're looking at it as, I'm happy for that person. It's their time. Okay. That's the first thing. The second one is alignment, making sure that you align with your life path and your goals. So sometimes people have that fear of losing out on some things where they jump into things too quickly. And it's okay to kind of say no right now, or you know what, this doesn't align with me. This doesn't align with my life path, my life goals. Um, and I'm okay with being alone. I'm okay with being single, or I'm okay with missing out on that opportunity because it just doesn't fit with me, versus just jumping into something that in the long run isn't healthy for you or align with you. There was a while ago, like a long, long time ago, I believe I went to like a psychic, and this was had to been 2015. So like I said, a long time ago. And at that time, that's where that comparison kind of came into play for myself. So a lot of what I speak of is because I've also been through certain things to be able to speak on it and learn from it and elevate. And I remember it's something that she said to me that kind of stuck with me till this day. And at the time, I was liking someone. So I really was hoping that this relationship worked. It wasn't even a relationship, to be honest. It was just somebody that I really, really liked. This person, they were kind of getting out of something. This was 2015. And I was just really stressed about it, like doing too much, overly texting, overly extending myself. When something's meant for you, you don't have to do all of that. You could just be yourself, and whatever's aligned for you will align perfectly. But at that time, I was like, okay, what is it that I need to do? And I just remember her saying that, you know what? We could do like a chakra clearing. And I said, okay, cool. What's that for? What is it going to do? And I just remember she looked at me and she said, you know what? This is for you. It's not for the other person that you keep stressing about. This is for you, because there's something blocked in your alignment for you to even assume or think and have low self-esteem to the point where you have that chaser mentality. You feel like you're not good enough. You feel like maybe you're the problem, or that there's nobody else out there for you. Like, why do you feel the need to, not saying that she didn't want to take my money, but she was basically saying that, like, why do you feel the need to continue to come to a psychic about one person? Like, yeah, I'm gonna take your money, but clearly there's something that's not aligned within yourself for you to have low self-esteem, and that is low for self-esteem if you think about it. So I share that to share with you all. That's also love frequency. It's about learning yourself and elevating to the point where if you notice something doesn't work, whether it's a job or relationship or whatever. I know I say that a lot because I don't want it to just feel like it's channeling one thing. It could be multiple things that people stress about, not just relationships. Okay. So that advice that she gave me stuck with me, and I want to share that with you all too. When you work on yourself, you will notice that a lot of things just start falling into place, and a lot of stuff that's not meant to align with you will start removing itself, whether that be fake friends, relationships that you were never supposed to be in, that job that you stayed in too long, family, whatever the case may be. You would notice that you would have the confidence to say yes to this and no to that, because it's just not adding up for me. And I'm trying to elevate and continue to bring and vibrate high and keep that positive energy only around me, and people that's aligned with my frequency around me. And those that are not tuned into that frequency, they can go somewhere else with it. So then I feel like once she did that clearing, it just seemed like everything kind of flowed from there. I started really loving myself, figuring out things to kind of be okay with being single. Even though I'm okay with, I love myself. Like, I love being single. I love being single, but I love myself enough to be single, to not rush into something that I know is not aligned with me, is what I'm saying. Um, Next topic, since that leading into rebound. With that being said, in my whole lifetime, I never really jumped into something too quickly where that person was the rebound, but I have been a rebound. So that's something else that I want to talk about is, okay, to summarize it, we've talked about um, spiritual, spirituality, aligning with your truth and your purpose, saying no to that. Now we're going to talk about being okay with being alone so that you're not attracting the wrong energy and making the bad decisions to the point where you may end up in a rebound situation. You may not have thought things over clearly. Eventually, that rebound is going to break. 9 times out of 10, most rebounds do not work, but that's not to say that something isn't going to work. Because as mentioned before, I believe I said you can meet someone tomorrow that's meant for you versus someone that you've known for 5 years. So that can be true. The difference of it is, what does your spirit tell you? Does your spirit tell you that this is a good situation or not? Am I going into this out of fear? Am I going into this out of something that's not in alignment and I just do it to fill a void? Or does my spirit say, go for it? I've done that too, where I've been very impulsive and I did something because my spirit said, you better do it and you better do it right now, and end up being the best thing for me in my life. And that was actually a move when I moved from one state to another. I was very young at the time, but that ended up being something that was scary, where I'm like, okay, should I do this or not? And it ended up being the best thing for me. So some things do work, but listen to your spirit, listen to your soul. What is it telling you? Is this aligning with my truth and who I am and what I want to be and do in my lifetime? But going back to the story, I used to be a rebound and I didn't know I was a rebound at the time. It was wrong, and I did get my karma from that. But the thing about it is, I didn't even know that I was intentionally doing something or a situation that didn't align. I read a quote somewhere. Or a video, something a while ago, that said, something cannot flourish in a situation where someone once cried or someone was hurt Even if you don't know it or not, you are putting yourself in a karmic situation because you're messing with someone or you're dealing with a situation that is going through their karma. You got the wrong people around you. Now that energy is rubbing off on you. That's why they say be careful who you keep around, be careful of your friends, be careful of the relationships that you're in, those businesses that you're, it don't matter. You got to be careful of that because that energy could turn into your energy very quickly. Basically, that energy ended up turning into my energy with me not even realizing. So the person that I was dealing with at the time, they were married, and they told me about it, and they told me that they were like getting out of a situation. And I know there's people out there that may say, "Oh, I don't care if that person has been married or not. I'm with them now." But think about that for a second. You know, that can turn into your karma if you don't know like the whole situation that's going on. So with that being said, this person told me about it. It took me literally 6-7 months to kind of get to know them. So even though you may say, let me take it slow, the tables can turn left or right. You really don't know how that situation can go. So it took me about 6 or 7 months to get into a relationship with this person. It didn't last but a year and a half or something like that. And they told me whatever about their wife. And I'm like, okay, well, don't you think you need to go work on it maybe with your wife? Because sometimes that's all it is you going to work on your relationship with your spouse or whatever. People have hard times. That doesn't mean that you go and find somebody else. You know what I mean? That's what I was thinking. The And the wife at the time ended up like inboxing me on Facebook. So I was thinking like, why is she inboxing me if y'all talked about it and everything's good? Because the person told me like, I'm separated. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, y'all separated, but why is your wife like inboxing me? And long story short, I didn't respond. We ended up getting into a relationship, like I said, 6 months later. Everything was cool. But then out the blue one day during COVID, that's when everything hit. And I feel like COVID in 2020, a lot of relationships, marriages, situations fell. Whether it was a job, I don't know. And I hate to keep saying that, like it was a job, it was a business, but I'm just trying to use different aspects. But people just found out that they just couldn't handle their spouse. They couldn't deal with certain relationships. I feel like relationships ended and people got into karmic relationships with people still. And if you notice from 2020 up until now, 2025, a lot of those relationships have ended. So it's a lot of things going on. I feel like in the world right now, energetically, spiritually, something's going on. But back to the story. So COVID came, and I just remember sitting at this person's house, this person's house, and she was just like, I feel alone, I feel sad, I don't feel love, and I just looked at her like, we're in a relationship, like, what do you need, because I'm here. And something in my spirit was just like, something doesn't seem right, you know what I mean? That was her inside, her spirit. So when I speak a lot of that, that's what I'm referring to. When people say like, oh, you gotta listen to people, what they say and what they don't say and what they don't want to say. So something in my spirit was just like, what's going on with her? Because we're together. Everything I thought was going cool, and I guess not, you know. And sorry about the noise in the background. I'm watching Iron Heart on Disney Plus, which is really good. It's really, really good. Y'all gotta watch it. I love Disney Plus. But back to the topic. So yeah, she had said that there's nothing wrong with you, it's me. She kept saying that, like, it's not you, it's me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh, okay, it's not you, it's me. And we worked out. I thought I was being the best person for her. I thought, like, as a spiritual counselor, whatever, I was trying to like motivate her into like working out. Let's do this. I got you. Next thing you know, a month after that, she said we need to take a break. So we did. And I still continued to go over her house. And next thing you know, so it was a Friday, and I had just left her house. The next thing you know, I get a text that said, I don't think you should come over anymore like that. And I was just like, oh, okay, cool. By that Monday, she had posted the new woman on social media. And I was just like, wow, that was quick. You know what I mean? Like, what happened? I was just at your house. We could have talked about this. Um, I felt blindsided, but everything leading up to that kind of like showed me like she was slowly trying to tiptoe for the past few months. It started out with, it's not you, it's me conversation, to the I need space conversation, to the don't come over, you know what I'm saying, conversation. So people slowly do things. You got to read between the line and say, yeah, I just don't want to be with you. Something's going on. I don't know about this. But long story short, not to drag it out, I was the rebound and I didn't know it. And even though I gave that situation 6 or 7 months, she basically did me how she did the wife. And when I ended up talking to the wife, she basically said, had I responded to the message she sent me back in 2018, she basically was trying to say to me, hey, you know, what's going on with you and my wife? I'm trying to figure out. I don't know how she found out about me. That's the thing too. Like, how did she find my social media? Because I had just met the girl, like they some mutual friends hooked us up basically. So I didn't really know her. And I was like, I didn't know where this situation was going anyway. So I'm like, what is this? Okay, I'm not about to respond to that. I'm gonna let her respond to it. And at that time, me finding out that I was the rebound, not realizing I was the rebound. That was my first time dealing with a situation like that where I got into something with a married person. Yes, I know you guys, that was wrong. But like I said, this person told me that they were separated. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there who are in situations right now dealing with the same thing. You know, you meet someone, they're going through a breakup or whatever, a divorce or whatever. If they even get a divorce, they're still in a situation and they want to date again, but they haven't really closed that karmic loop with the prior person, and now they're jumping into something else with you. It may not last. So that's why I say and bring up that story to say that, yeah, we were together for a little bit, but it didn't last. And was this somebody that I could have saw myself marrying? No. So that was another thing. And that's why I speak of alignment. That's why now I'm able to speak on aligning with your truth, being single, being okay with being single until that right person come along where you know for sure in your spirit that you really want to be with that person. That goes for me, and that went for the person that I was with at that time too. She's found me attractive, you know, vice versa. But deep down inside, come to find out, she was really still healing from her wife. She was trying to get back at her wife in a negative way. And I'm like, why are you trying to hurt your wife? And I didn't find any of this out until years later. I think last year was when she really went deep and told me like everything. And I was just like, wow, I didn't know that. I just thought like the wife, because this is what she told me. I just thought the wife did this and the wife did that. And I'm trying to, you know, find me something else in a better situation and a better relationship. And she thought she found it in me. And I thought too that she was an okay person as well. And not saying that this person is a bad person at all. I'm just saying that when you get in certain things with people, make sure it aligns. And it don't matter if it's a week or years or whatever. Make sure that person is healthy and healed, because they could be bringing certain stuff in from past situations into your situation. And here it is, all that you wanted was love, right? That's all I wanted. I wasn't looking for somebody to hurt me or be in some kind of crazy predicament. And on top of that, I was celibate for I think 5 or 6 years before even getting into that situation. I was pissed. I was upset. Like, how could I even do that to myself? But you know what? We live and we learn. So what I have learned from situations like that too is, now that I'm older, time has passed. It's okay to be friends with people. It's okay to date. It's okay to say, hey, you know what? I don't think that's going to be a good idea, like let's just have fun for right now. All of these things I'm speaking on is things that I went through where I'm able to grow and learn from that. And that was a painful situation, but it didn't stop me from continuing on in the next relationship, continuing to love myself, continuing to travel and just elevate. Because you know what? We're all here in this lifetime to learn something and grow. And this isn't the end for us, right? At least not right now. You know, this is the opportunity for us to learn from situations and take that and turn it into a frequency and elevate from it. Some people do the opposite. This channel is to basically say, don't do that. Don't do what most people want to do, which is this person hurt me. So now I'm about to hurt someone else. This person hurt me. So now I'm about to take that situation into my next situation. Or I'm about to give that person a hard time. I'm not about to open up myself. I'm not about to love. I'm afraid. We all afraid. We're all afraid to take risk. You know, we're all afraid of that job, that new love, that new leap, that new move, whatever the case may be. But take that chance, and you never know where it can take you, good or bad. More than likely, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be something good. If you just listen to your spirit and your soul, do it. You know, you never know where that's gonna lead you in the long run. But to wrap up, the rebound situation, that's what I learned from that. I learned healing. And even though my dog is right there, hey Boots, but even though I learned from that, I've learned that when I meet someone that I like, even though I gave that situation 6, 7 months, I probably shouldn't have jumped into a relationship. I should have probably kept that person as a friend. And then we probably could have still been friends to this day, because she basically hurt me like she hurt her wife. And the new girl that she was talking to, that only lasted rebound. They usually last a few months. So that lasted maybe like 3 or 4 months or whatever. And she ended up hitting me up, apologizing, like, oh, I'm sorry, this and that. Cool. We both learned a lesson. Um, that's not to say rebounds don't work, but I'm just saying 9 times out of 10, that person is not healed. They just was with their ex. And that's another funny thing about it. When I met her back in 2018, we met in March. Another thing too is back when we met in March, on her social media, her and her wife was all booed up in February. Pictures, Valentine's, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm in love. And here we are, she out on a date with me in March. But like I said, when I met her, I'm like, oh, that's kind of too soon. So I waited. But even me waiting, that she said she still was trying to get back at her ex. For what reason? I don't know. But it's fucked up. I'm gonna tell you that. It's messed up for a lot of people to do certain things just to hurt somebody. I'm not that type of person. That doesn't mean there's not people out there that is like that. I don't want to hurt nobody. I'm not trying to hurt none of my exes or people that I talk to, but people will hurt you just to get back at somebody else. People would lead you on or do things as a performance to hurt their significant other of the past. That's not me. I don't do those type of things. Like if you see the next time y'all see me with somebody, please believe that's going to be my spouse, hopefully, or somebody that I know I'm serious about. I don't do that rebound stuff, you know. And when her and I broke up during that time, I worked out, went to work. Of course, well, that was during COVID, but I had a good time. I wasn't trying to do nothing to like hurt her, even though I was hurting. I just moved on, and I ended up finding me another relationship anyway, which that lasted 4 years. But regardless of the matter, it wasn't somebody that I was rushing in. Like that person was a rebound. This was somebody I genuinely saw a future with as a spouse. Whether we got married or not, I saw them for the long run. It wasn't no trying to get back at nobody. So that's the rebound. Be careful with that. Next topic that I want to kind of pull in is, and all of this stuff kind of is like trickling into each other as a learning lesson, I would say, over the past 5 to 10 years. With that being said, Sometimes we pick relationships, and you have to be careful with this too. Everything you just have to go with your spirit and say, does this feel right? So, potential. I want to talk about that. You know, we sometimes we see potential in our people, and we're excited about that new love, that new relationship, that new job, that new project, situate, whatever. But we don't really take the time to really see and assess that person, or that do the proper investigation of something. We just jump into it because we see the potential in that situation. We see the love and the light and the energy of it without even taking a step back to say, let me see what that person's going to do. Let me see what's going to happen before putting too much energy into it. This one, I'm going to use probably just relationships more so to make it more make sense. But we meet someone, we see potential in them, we want to help them grow, help them start a business, help them work out. Remember what I told you guys about working out, even in our relationship. Like, hey, let's go to the gym. Let's do this. Let's do that. That person wasn't motivated. It was stressful. It was like I was carrying dead weight on my back. This person didn't even have the energy for themselves. I had more energy for them to say, let's do this, you know? So be mindful of potential in people to the point where you're doing all the work and they're not doing anything at all. Right? Before you met them, they wasn't even trying to like work on themselves. They wasn't trying to elevate their job or start a business or work on a spiritual growth or travel. Soon as you came along, you like, let me lift you up. I'm not saying as a good person, because I'm a good person too. I love helping people. I love bringing people along. But what I've learned, and my lesson in that is, I've done so much for people to the point where I'm tired, where that energy was taken away from myself and my self-love and my self-worth. I was putting so much into other people, I wasn't putting it into myself. Part of love frequency is also about that. It's about you and yourself. Not to say that you're being selfish. It's to say that I need to work on me first, figure out what I want, align with what I need, so that I can give that to the right person when the right person do come along, or when the right situation do come along. Stop letting people come into your life where you no longer are who you are and what you need to be. We forget who we are because we love our partner. We love this person. We're trying to see the potential and the growth in them. But these people wasn't even trying to see the growth and the potential in themselves. We are a team player. If I come in a situation, I bring the salt, you bring the pepper. I can't bring the salt and the pepper, the ingredients and all of this. And I'm like, all right, babe, what you doing? I promise you, 9 times out of 10, if you take a step back, most of these people don't even want a lot of that themselves. You will see that they ain't even putting in no work at all. You watch me. If you don't believe me, test it out for yourself. Say, you know what, today, I'm just going to relax. And it's not to say you playing a, and I do want to say, it's not about playing mind games. It's not about playing mind games with people. It's about learning who you are and not going overboard to the point where that person, you don't see who that person is showing up to be. Let them show up and show you what they rather do, not what you want them to be and what you want them to do. And you're pushing your agenda on them. You know, jobs do it. When you go to a job interview, what do? Check your background, check your references, give you a 90-day probation. Meanwhile, we meet a relationship. We're like, oh, I'm in love. I'm gonna help them. I'm gonna do this, this, and this. And next thing you know, you stressed out in a 5-10 year relationship with somebody that you know you really don't want to marry. And that's another thing. Not saying that everyone wants to be married, but for those that do, I know I do. So speaking of a union like that, you know damn well that you probably don't want to marry this person, but yet you're with them because you don't want to hurt them. You're a good person. You want it to work. You don't want to be alone. All these things can stagnate your future, what you're needing to do, and potentially your soulmate. Some of y'all out here in situations right now with somebody that you know you don't want to be with long term, possibly. You're holding up somebody's soulmate. Let them go, or date them and date multiple people until you are in something that you really want to be in. Life is too short, y'all. This 2025, a lot of stuff has happened since COVID. I don't know if y'all can feel that energy, but we got to get out of that. Period. But yeah, seeing the potential in people can put us in situations that we know we don't want to be in and serve our purpose. We end up in long-term things that we shouldn't have, and what's going to happen is it's going to be that tower. That tower is going to come into your space and it's going to fall, it's going to hit you hard because the universe has already sent you signs this isn't your person. That situation don't align with you. So it starts doing little things, little triggers inside of you. But you ignore those red flags because you love this person in that situation until the alarms start getting louder from the universe to the point where something so crazy happened. The universe told you, like, look, I didn't want you in that situation to begin with. So now you got to deal with the tower. Now you got to deal with something dramatic just for that situation to go, just for that breakup to be like, dang, universe, you ain't have to do it like that. But that's just the way it is. So these are things that I've learned that help me birth love frequency. And also, for me, my past two situations, I ended up being in them. The universe didn't want me in those situations. And you see what happened. I'm not going to say what happened with the last one, but at least not yet. But it will be on my channel eventually for the podcast. But right now, not so much. But because I stayed too long in something, the tower came crashing hard. And I'm not talking about minor things. I'm talking about things that were so shaken to the point where there's no way I could, even if I wanted to, go back to these people because the pain was so much and so heavy that there was just no way. Now I have forgiven these people. Love frequency was birthed off of that too. Forgiveness, loving yourself enough to see in other people their pain in the body. A lot of times people may not mean to hurt people. They're not, like, people talk about narcissists and all of that, but these people were once good people too. They were once young people who grew up and maybe they had trauma in their life that made them that way. So as a chosen one, as an angel on earth myself, I see the good in people a lot. And for me, I can't hurt others. I don't want to do that. And I forgive everyone. That's the goal. That's love frequency, is forgiveness. People going to hurt you. Don't give up on love. Don't stop being the beautiful person that you are. Because trust and believe, it's not a lot of beautiful people out here in the first place that's real like that. And you are. Even though you've been through that situation, you're still here. You're still showing up for love. You're still showing up for yourself. You're not letting that stop you from that business, that new love, your new spouse, that new job, getting money, traveling, looking good, looking fabulous. That's not stopping you. There's people out here who go through great depression and they just let themselves go. That's not you. And I'm praying for those who are dealing with like depression to that caliber, where they can't get out of that situation to elevate themselves. There's people out there who let themselves go badly. And they've only been through, I think, something that I think they can get over. Not get over, because I don't want to sound insensitive like that. Take your time. But what I'm saying is that people go through some crazy stuff in this world and they are still out here shining, elevating, not letting that stop them, living in the love frequency. So that's the word for the week. And sorry for the prolongness. Please subscribe to my channel. And I do have something for you guys, as you can see in the back, some tarot. So I'm going to do that. But thank you guys for listening and stay tuned for the tarot cards of the day. All right, try not to make this long. This is like one of my favorite decks. Ooh, what does that say right there? Loyal heart. It says loyal heart. Interesting. Oh, TikTok. Okay. I'm gonna have to put that to the side. So you know what that means. Like when you guys shuffle cards and sometimes when one pop up, you got to pay attention to those that pop up. But I wanted to give you guys just one card for today and a surprise one. I'm not gonna shuffle it too much. What does this one say? Go the distance. All right, so we're just gonna pull the top, and that's just gonna be for everyone's overall reading. What is it? Serendipity. And sorry, I have to kind of read. Hopefully you guys can see that. So the card for today is serendipity. I gotta see what that means. All right, y'all. So I have to bring my book out. So serendipity, basically opportunities allied with readiness, the awareness of synchronicity, luck, good fortune, appearing as signs and symbols, a magical alignment of events. And what have we been talking about? Alignment. Um, You've stepped into alignment with the greater good where your dreams and the collective dream resonate in harmony. Now is the time for luck, preparation to meet and create miracles that could never have happened by yourself. Keep in mind that you are channeled for providence right now as a higher energy uses you as a force on behalf of the world. Your fortune becomes everyone's fortune. Everything you bring into being now will leave a legacy. So your service to the world is supported at this time. If you're dealing with a relationship, they have a message for you as well. Spirit has a plan, and that plan is to place you in front of the right person at the right time. All about divine timing. Okay, so you have met or are about to meet someone important to your journey. Someone that Spirit wants to bring into your life. Ooh, I like that. Only divine forces can plan this meeting. And it's out of your hands. So basically, don't worry about it. It's already in alignment and pay attention to the signs. So what I'm getting from this card, serendipity, whoever this resonates with, is that divine timing is happening right now. So whatever you're doing, good luck is and prosperity is coming. And then also remember that card that popped out, TikTok. That represents something too. So pay attention to the signs. The right people are coming to help you with that. Keep doing what you're doing in alignment. TikTok. I want to see what that one says. Let's see. I feel like the timer's running out, and I got a surprise for y'all. So even though I did this on the camera, I wanted to kind of like do one before the camera. I'm gonna tell y'all what that is. TikTok, timeless, divine timing. Okay, when humans created time, everything changed and contracted. People have come to look at life in a linear way, imagining that the past is behind them and the future is ahead of them. But what is that exactly? Everything, creativity, beauty, chaos, order, happening now in a glorious, timeless way. You have all the time in the world to co-create the life you desire. So release your agenda, let go of your need to shape the outcome and your expectations. Boom. All that, see what I'm saying? Boom, that all aligns. Relationships, if you're dealing with that, because it does give you a breakdown of it. So love, fulfillment of desire, even if the body reproductive cycles have their own timetable, some things are preordained, and cannot be cursed. Everything has a season, divine and appropriate timing, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. Okay. Remember that you'll always have enough time for love to find it, nurture it, and give and receive it. Its clock is eternal and ticks according to the beating heart in perfect rhythm. I love it. Love is always right on time. And then there's another one. So with this book, it gives you a general reading, a relationship one, and a prosperity. Because remember, not everything may align with love or business or whatever. Because people are looking for different things. So I love this particular oracle deck because it gives you different meanings of the card, whatever you're going through. So there's a prosperity one here. Prosperity co-created by your endeavors as they occur in human-made time, and the eternal efforts of your most important manifestation. Spirit in a divine. So whatever today's the full moon also, you guys. So I did this for the full moon, okay? So it sounds to me like everything is happening in divine time and alignment. Okay, now universe, yes. Stay positive. Blessings are coming. High vibration thoughts and feelings. Yes, I love it. So if you heed this message, it would seem as if you will align with your highest calling and your highest good in no time. Oh, I love it. So here's my extra card. So that one was TikTok, serendipity. And this one, I put this one before I even did the reading for today. I just wanted to know. Unfinished symphony. So if there's something that you guys are supposed to be doing, unfinished business, whether that be someone you need to talk to, a business that you need to complete, this basically means that there's unfinished business. So as far as the relationship one, because I already read it before, and if there's someone you need to talk to that person to complete the cord, or if there's a relationship you need to let go of, have that conversation, do what you need to do for that business. Same thing. You've been sitting on something that you know you were supposed to complete, unfinished. That's what this one was. Love it. So I think I'm gonna start trying to do more of that for you guys. Let me know if you like it. So I did my Oracle deck. It definitely resonated with what we talked about. So thank you guys for listening in to the channel, and we will see you next week.